Let me ask you something. You think you own your computer. You think the administrator account, the one with full privileges, is the highest level of control on your machine. Maybe you've even gone further, set up a Linux root shell, disabled secure boot, installed a custom kernel. You feel powerful, untouchable. But what if I told you that right now, as you watch this video, something is running inside your processor that your operating system cannot see, cannot touch, and cannot stop? Not a virus, not a hacker, something built in. Something Intel put there on purpose. Something that has existed inside every single x86 PC since the 1990s. Its name is SMM, System Management Mode, and it operates in a layer so deep your antivirus software doesn't even know it exists. Here is the uncomfortable truth about modern computers. There is a hierarchy of control. At the top of what most people imagine sits the operating system, Windows, Linux, Mac OS. Below that, the kernel. Below the kernel, hardware drivers. And then there are hypervisors, the software that runs virtual machines, which technically operate beneath the OS itself. Security researchers call this ring -1. Most people never go that far, but SMM sits below all of that. Below the hypervisor. Below the kernel. Below every security layer you have ever been told to trust. According to Intel's own documentation, System Management Mode is a special-purpose operating mode provided by the x86 architecture. It was introduced with the Intel 386 processor. That means it has been sitting inside your CPU for roughly 35 years. Not a secret, technically. Just ignored. Buried in dense technical manuals that almost nobody reads. Think about that number for a second. 35 years. That is longer than the World Wide Web has existed. So how does this thing actually work? Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you are in the middle of a board meeting. Everyone is focused. The CEO is mid-sentence. And then someone pulls a fire alarm. Everyone stops, leaves the room, and a separate crew walks in, does whatever they need to do, and leaves. The meeting resumes. Nobody in that room knows anything happened, except the alarm was pulled. That fire alarm is called an SMI, a System Management Interrupt. And just like a real alarm, it overrides everything. When the SINS-E fires, the processor suspends the operating system completely. Not pauses it, suspends it. Every register, every running process, every virtual machine is frozen in place. The CPU then saves a complete snapshot of the system state and switches to a completely separate execution environment, one that your operating system has absolutely no visibility into. Inside this environment, a piece of firmware code runs with what engineers call unrestricted privilege. It can read all system memory. It can access every storage device. It can interact with hardware at the lowest level imaginable. It can even peer inside active virtual machines and encrypted drives. And then, in a matter of microseconds, it is done. The CPU restores the save state, hands control back to the operating system, and everything continues as if nothing happened. The OS does not receive an error. The system log shows nothing. Your security software saw nothing, because it was not even awake during that window. Now let us talk about where SMM lives, because this is where it gets architecturally strange. When the processor enters System Management Mode, it does not use normal RAM. It switches to a dedicated, protected memory region called SMRAM, System Management RAM. This region is physically isolated from the rest of the system. If your operating system tries to read the memory address where SMRAM lives, it does not get an error. It gets redirected. It receives ordinary RAM data back as if nothing special is stored there. From the operating system's perspective, that memory address is empty. From inside SMM, that same address is a fully functioning private execution environment, its own code, its own data, its own world. This is not a metaphor. This is how the hardware works. The processor is essentially running two separate realities at the same address, one that your OS sees, one that it never will. Computer security researchers have described this behavior in academic papers for years. A 2006 paper by Loic Duflot, presented at the Usenix Security Symposium, described how this architecture could be exploited to compromise system security in ways that conventional detection tools simply cannot observe. The research community has known about this for nearly 2 decades. Now I want to ask you a direct question, and I want you to sit with it. Who benefits from this? The official answer from Intel and hardware vendors is straightforward: power management, hardware initialization, temperature control, platform-specific behavior. OM code. The kind of invisible infrastructure work that keeps your laptop from catching fire when the battery overheats. These are legitimate functions. Nobody is disputing that. But notice the language used in the documentation. OEM-specific code. That phrase is a catch-all. It covers power management, yes. It also covers anything a hardware manufacturer decides to implement at that level. And because SNRM is opaque to the operating system, there is no standard mechanism for an end user or even a software security tool to audit what that code is actually doing. You cannot inspect it from Windows. You cannot inspect it from Linux. Your hypervisor cannot see it. The security model of your entire system rests on the assumption that this code, written by the hardware vendor, is trustworthy. You are not given the tools to verify that assumption. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is the architectural reality of every modern x86 PC. Let me be precise about who the players are here because the roles matter. The technology company, Intel, in this case, and the OEM hardware makers who build on top of their platform made a design decision. They created an execution mode that operates beneath the visibility of users and software. Their reasoning is technical and largely benign. Centralized hardware management at a level that the operating system should not need to worry about. But the consequence of that decision is a trust model that is entirely asymmetric. The hardware vendor has visibility into a layer of your system that you do not. You are, by architectural design, locked out of auditing it. The user sitting at your keyboard, running your antivirus, configuring your firewall, has been handed a security model with a blind spot built in. You did not consent to this. It was never presented to you as a feature. It's shipped inside your processor and has been there ever since. This does not make Intel a villain in the dramatic sense. But it does mean that the relationship between a hardware manufacturer and an end user involves a fundamental information asymmetry. They know what is running at the deepest level of your machine. You do not. And here is the part that security researchers find most troubling. Because SMM code runs beneath the operating system, a compromised or malicious SMM implementation would be, for all practical purposes, invisible to conventional security tools. A rootkit operating at this level, sometimes called a BIOS rootkit, or firmware implant, would survive a full operating system reinstall. It would survive wiping the hard drive. It would persist through every remediation step that a normal IT professional or consumer knows how to perform. This is not theoretical. In 2015, researchers from Kaspersky Lab revealed the existence of a threat actor they called the Equation Group, whose toolkit included firmware modification capabilities, targeting hard drive controller firmware, a different but conceptually related layer beneath the OS. The techniques described in that report demonstrated that nation-state level actors had developed the capability to embed persistent code at hardware levels that conventional security tools cannot address. The lesson is not that your personal laptop has been compromised by intelligence agencies. The lesson is that the attack surface exists, it has been exploited in the real world by sophisticated actors, and the defensive tools available to ordinary users offer essentially no visibility into this layer. So what can you actually do about this? What is the practical advice? First, understand the boundary of what your security tools can protect. Antivirus software, firewalls, endpoint detection, these are valuable and worth running. But they operate at the OS level or above. They are not equipped to audit firmware. They never were, and most of them do not claim to be. Knowing the limits of your defenses is not defeatism. It is realism. Second, firmware security matters. Keep your BIOS and UEFI firmware updated. Hardware vendors do release security patches for firmware vulnerabilities, including SMM-related vulnerabilities, and they are often overlooked by users who religiously update their operating system, but never touch the BIOS. UEFI Forum and individual vendors like Intel and AMD maintain security advisories for firmware. Treat them like OS security patches, because at this level, they matter more. Third, for high-security environments, hardware provenance matters. For individuals handling genuinely sensitive information, journalists, activists, security researchers, legal professionals, the origin of your hardware is a security variable. Open firmware projects like Coreboot attempt to replace proprietary BIOS firmware with auditable, open-source alternatives. They do not solve the SMM problem entirely, but they significantly reduce the opacity of the firmware stack. Fourth, and perhaps most importantly, do not mistake complexity for security. The fact that something is hard to understand does not mean it is safe. The fact that your antivirus says all clear does not mean the system is clean at every level. This is a more sophisticated threat model than most consumer security tools are designed to address. And knowing that gap exists is the first step toward navigating it rationally. The deeper point here is philosophical, and it applies far beyond this one technical feature. Modern computing is built on layers of trust that most people never examine. You trust the operating system, which trusts the kernel, which trusts the drivers, which trusts the hardware, which trusts the firmware. At each layer, there are decisions made by engineers and companies whose interests broadly align with yours, but not perfectly, and not always transparently. SMM is a visible example of a structural reality that runs through the entire stack. The hardware vendor has capabilities and visibility that the user does not. This is not incidental. It is architectural, and in a world where computing is now fundamental to privacy, finance, communication, and political participation, that asymmetry carries weight. You do not have to be paranoid. You do have to be informed. If this is the kind of content that makes you think differently about the technology you use every day, then you are in exactly the right place. Subscribe to this channel, because we do not simplify technology into false reassurance. We go to the layer where the truth actually lives, even when it makes you slightly uncomfortable about your CPU. Hit the subscribe button. Share this with someone who thinks their administrator account is the top of the hierarchy. And leave a comment below. Did you know SMM existed before watching this? Because I would genuinely like to know how deep the blind spot runs.